saying that the control at the top of the list, elimination, is the obvious choice for most effective. Now, how we make that happen is probably a little beyond the scope of this course, and substitution is not really applicable here either, so let's move to the things we can do. That leaves us with engineering controls, administrative controls, and PPE, or personal protective equipment. Engineering controls refer to steps that we can take to isolate a person from the hazard through physical or mechanical means. This includes things like physical barriers to isolate people, or replacing handles with touchless devices to prevent people from coming in contact with surfaces. Administrative controls refer to changes that we make in the way people work, things like encouraging people to maintain distance from each other, increasing cleaning frequency, and even posting signage to remind people of rules and proper etiquette. And finally, PPE, or personal protective equipment, is equipment worn by people to protect themselves from a real or potential hazard. The reason this is at the bottom of the list is that there are many things that have to happen correctly for PPE to work and be effective. It has to be matched to the hazard. It has to fit correctly. The user has to keep it on at all times when exposed to the hazard. The user has to be trained in its use. And the PPE has to be maintained or replenished in order to remain effective. I actually have a whole course on PPE here on LinkedIn Learning that you might find useful. For this course, though, we're going to focus on those engineering and administrative controls, those changes that we can make to the workplace to help people stay healthy, and even those physical changes that we can make to the environment that encourage people to work in a manner that lets them be productive while staying safe and healthy. It's important to keep in mind that the conditions under which people have dealt with work and life during this pandemic have varied greatly throughout the world. I know many people that have been completely out of the physical workspace for many, many months. Some of them have also faced lockdowns and isolation at home, while others have continued to venture out into places like grocery stores and restaurants. I think that one thing is consistent for most people, though, and that is that the places that they have been visiting during the pandemic look different. Stores and restaurants have taken steps to reduce occupancy, increase sanitization, and encourage distancing. Tables and chairs have been removed or respaced. Physical barriers have been added, like the clear plastic dividers that have become commonplace in